Hello students, today we are going to continue the last city previous IIT JEE questions. Now we are going to start JEE Main 2016 10th April online question. So according to this question, a bottle has a opening of radius. So radius A is given and length B is given. So here you can see the diagram in which I draw a bottle with the mouth of the bottle. A is the radius and B is nothing but length of that mouth. And radius is A plus delta A, where that means a cork is there, a cork of length. One more I draw here, cork of length. Length is cork of length is B, and the radius of the cork is A plus delta A. Fine. Now when is compressed to fit into the opening completely. So if the bulk modulus of the cork is B, so bulk modulus of cork is given B, and frictional coefficient between a bottle and cork is given mu. Then force needed to push. What is the force needed to push the cork into the bottle, right? So I think in this one, you can see the diagram. Here a diagram after fitting, this is, so whatever we are seeing in the diagram, after fitting the cork, this is cork. So I've shown 3 diagrams here, the cork individually and the mouth of the bottle. So we have to fit. Initially the radius is A plus delta A. So we have to fit and we have to compress the area delta A so that it will fit. So how to calculate the force needed to push that one? So here force or the contact force on the cork, we can also call excess pressure, we'll be calling it as. Now excess pressure, I can write excess pressure equals to, which is a delta P, which is there is a normal force acting on the walls inside. You can see this is nothing but normal force. So normal force divided by surface area of the mouth. Now I can write here delta P equals to normal force N divided by surface area of the mouth 2 pi A into B. A is nothing but radius, B is nothing but length. Now volume compressed in the cork. Here what is the volume compressed in the cork? So if I want to write volume compressed in the cork, volume compression can be written as, we'll move to the next page, volume compression, volume compression in cork is given as delta V equal to, right, 2 pi A into delta A into B. This is clear? Fine. Now volume of the cork. Next I can write volume of the cork. Volume of cork is given as volume can be written as, now here V is equal to pi A square into B, where A is the radius, B is nothing but heights. So we have a volume of the cork, and volume compression in the cork is delta V. So by knowing the values of delta V and V, one can calculate the volume strain in the cork. So how to calculate volume strain in the cork? So now I can write volume strain in the cork equals to delta V divided by V. This is clear. What we got a delta V, you can see delta V equals to 2 pi A into delta A into B. So I can write a 2 pi, right, A into delta A into B. Hope that is clear. Next, divided by V. V is the volume of the cork, which is nothing but pi A square into B. You can write pi A square divided by pi A square into B. Fine. Now we can cancel this one. First you can keep this as an equation number 1, or these two will get cancelled. Here 1A, A get cancelled. So here 2 pi delta A divided by pi into A. Pi also even get cancelled. So I'm getting here 2 pi 2 into delta A divided by A. Oh, this is clear. Now we want a bulk modulus. What we require here to calculate force. For that sake, what I'll do, first I'll calculate the bulk modulus. So bulk modulus, we have excess pressure. So excess pressure can be written as now excess pressure, right? n by 2 pi into n divided by 2 pi into A into B. Excess pressure is there, delta V by V is there. Now bulk modulus is related with the equation. Bulk modulus equals to excess pressure divided by delta V by V of modulus. Now simply substituting that values, if I substitute delta V, just a moment. Now delta external excess pressure is given n by 2 pi into A, n divided by 2 pi A into B divided by delta V by V already we calculated, 2 into delta A divided by A, right? So simply substituting this one as it finally we can get here. So n divided by 2 pi into A into B, here it will be 2 into delta A, and A will goes to numerator. Fine. So we'll be getting here these two will get cancelled, A will get cancelled. So 2 to the 4. Now we can get n divided by 2 into 2 is nothing but 4 pi AB, pi into AB into delta A. Now I want normal reaction from this one. N is equals to, or normal force or contact force, N equal to, we'll get 4 pi A into A, that's nothing but a delta A. Here there is no A. So delta A into B into capital B. Capital B is nothing but bulk modulus. Hope this is clear. N is the, to push the cork inside the bottle, to the external force has to overcome the friction. Okay, so we got now a contact force, the normal reaction here. We can say N. So hope you can see this. What we calculated is nothing but whichever acting, when you are fitting this cork into the mouth of it, then here some the force, which is nothing but N, which we call it as contact force. So that we calculated. Now once if we got contact force, then we can proceed. N is equals to, I'll take that equation, N equal to 4 pi 4 pi delta A into B, 4 pi delta A into B into bulk modulus B, right? So to push the cork inside the bottle, the external force has to overcome the frictional forces. We know that frictional forces. So here, F is equals to, we can take it as F push. The external push should be greater than or equal to mu into N. So if you simply substitute N value here, 4 pi mu into delta A into B into bulk modulus is what completes problem. So this is nothing but force needed to push the cork into the bottle, 4 pi mu delta A into B into capital B, which is option matches with the D. So the correct answer is D. Hope this is clear how we proceeded, right? First we calculated excess pressure, then what I did, I calculated first excess pressure. So here excess pressure is equals to N by surface area, then a volume compression of the cork calculated, then a volume of the cork. Because I'm calculating excess pressure and volume, change in volume and original volume, to get a volume strain in the bulk modulus. So to calculate bulk modulus, once if I can calculate bulk modulus, then I can proceed with the, whenever we are pressing, it means when we fit the cork to the mouth of the bottle, so some contact force will be acting. So I could able to calculate the contact force. After once I get the contact force, the friction, so the frictional force or force needed to push the cork should be greater than or equals to mu into A, mu into N, where mu is nothing but coefficient of friction. Hope this is clear to all. If any doubts, let me know. Next, we'll move to JEE Main 2019, 12th January evening online. So according to this question, a load of mass m kgs suspended from a steel wire of length 2 meters. You can see in the diagram, first one, number 1. So length of the wire is given. Let me take this, nothing but a steel wire of length 2 meters and radius of cross section. Here you can see the given data. So load of mass is m kgs, and the length of the steel wire is given as 2 meters, and the radius of the steel wire is 1 millimeters, 1 into 10 power minus 3. I'm converting milli to meters in a Searles apparatus experiments. To increase the increase in the length produced in the wire. So increase in the length produced in the wire is 4 millimeters. So here we can see delta L in the steel wire is 4 millimeters. Again, I'm converting 4 millimeters into 4 into 10 power minus 3 meters. Now the load is fully immersed in a liquid of relative density 2. Now here, if I take a second case, first case it is hanging in the air, second case it is immersed in the liquid. When it is immersed in the liquid, the effective weight mg into 1 minus rho L by rho S. What is rho L? See, density of liquid 2 and the density of the material, relative density of the load is given 8. Even the relative density is nothing but rho S 8, and relative density of liquid rho L is 2, rho S is 8. Now the new value of increase in the length, delta L, we have to find. That is delta L dash. Here already delta L for steel wire is given when it is suspended in the air. When it is immersed in the liquid, here it is nothing but a liquid. So effective weight will be mg into 1 minus rho L by rho S. So now we'll proceed with the Young's modulus of a given y. If I take Young's modulus, y is equals to stress divided by strain. Stress divided by the strain, Young's modulus. Now stress is nothing but mg divided by S. There's nothing but a force by surface area, a delta L divided by EL. Here if you see this, I can also write y equals to mg into L divided by delta L into area or ES. So here what are constants? Y is constant because the steel wire is not changing, y is constant, and surface area, the same area is constant, and length is constant. Only delta L is changing here, so change in the length. See, when the length is delta L dash in the liquid, this is in air, okay, and delta L dash is in the liquid. Now I'll proceed with it. If I substitute this case, mg is proportional to delta L. Directly I can write because remaining all are constants. Or now the first case I'll take a delta L proportional to mg, and second case if I take a delta L dash is proportional to mg effective, which I can also write mg into 1 minus rho L by rho S, or I can write mg into 1 minus rho L is given 2 divided by h, which I'll get 3 by 4 mg, 3 by 4 m into g, right? Just divide both the equations. If I divide both the equations, let me take is nothing but equation number 1, here equation number 2. If I divide both the equations, so equation 1 divided by 2, delta L divided by delta L dash is equals to, we'll get a 4 divided by 3. Simply if I multiplied here delta L dash we require, delta L dash can be written as 3 by 4 into delta L, or I can write a 3 by 4 into delta L is given 4 millimeters. So I can cancel this 2. So delta L dash, I'm getting it as 3 millimeters. Hope this is clear, right? So just once again we'll see this question. Delta L, we got it as delta L dash. This is nothing but elongation when it is immersed in the liquid, 3 millimeters. Then how I proceeded with this problem, I wrote given data. So delta L is the elongation in the air, delta L dash is nothing but elongation produced in the steel wire when it is immersed in the liquid. Next I took formula y is equals to stress, Young's modulus is equal to stress divided by strain. Then identify what are the constants. Y, L and S are constant. So from which I'll get a mg proportional to a delta L. Then first equation I took it as mg delta L proportional to m and delta L dash proportional to mg effective. Mg can be written as mg into 1 minus rho L by rho S. Simply substituted, we got two equations. Then divided these two equations, delta L dash delta L by delta L dash is equal to 4 by 3. Then finally we are getting delta L dash is equal to 3 millimeters, which matches with the option 3B option. Hope this is clear till this point. If you have any doubts, let me know. Now we'll move to the next question, which is asked in JEE Main 2019 8th April morning session. A boy's catapult is made up of rubber cord which is 42 centimeters. Here I have written the given data. L is equal to 42 centimeters, that is 42 into 10 power minus 2 meters. So a boy's catapult is made up of rubber cord which is 42 centimeters. So length is 42 centimeter converted into 42 into 10 power minus 2 meters long, with the diameter, again diameter D is equal to 6 millimeters. So then I converted into radius 3 millimeters, 3 into 10 to the power of minus 3, right? Next, diameter of cross section and negligible mass. The boy keeps a stone weighing 0.02 kg. So boy, that is the mass of the stone is 0.02 kgs on it, and stretches the cord by 20 centimeters. Now the elongation delta L is equal to 20 centimeter, 20 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meters by application of the constant force. When it is released, the stone flies off with the velocity. Velocity in the given data you can see 20 meter per second. Neglect the change in the area of cross section of the cord while stretched, then the Young's modulus of the rubber is closest to. So we have to calculate Young's modulus. So what we have to apply here? See, due to stretching the cord, stores in elastic potential energy, and on releasing the potential energy transformed to kinetic energy. Conservation law of conservation of energy we can take. See here, potential energy, when you are stretching, potential energy is converting into kinetic energy, transforming into kinetic. When he is stretched, so stretching, we can say the potential energy stored in a string, which is I can write energy density of cord if I take half stress into strain, half stress into strain, even we can call this nothing but potential energy stored, half stress into strain. Now we can also write half into stress I can write y into strain, one more sorry, here stress into strain is nothing but strain. So y into this stress can be written as y into strain, that is nothing but a strain square, nothing but strain square, y into. Now you can substitute that one, half y into strain. Strain is nothing but delta L divided by L whole square. It's nothing but energy density of the cord. Now potential energy in the cords. What is potential energy in the cords? Now let us start. Potential energy in the cords is given as E C is equals to half y into strain square. It's nothing but delta L whole square into volume. Volume is area into length. Area into length. Hope this is clear. Now by conservation, so kinetic energy, this potential energy is converting into kinetic energy or transforming into kinetic energy, which is nothing but half mv square. According to law of conservation, so what I can write? We can write potential energy equals to kinetic energy. Potential energy stored in the cord should be equals to kinetic energy. Or simply I'll write now half potential energy. I got a half into y into delta L divided by L whole square into A into L is equals to half mv square. Half mv square. Here we can say here one L and one L get cancelled, only one L. So we can have now two half half get cancelled. Then what I can write? What is y is equals? We require Young's modulus. So Young's modulus is equals to mv square into 1 L will be there, L divided by delta L whole square into A. Now simply substituting all the values. So if I substitute all the values, mass is nothing but 0. Already 0.02 into v square 20 whole square into length is 42 into 10 to the power of minus 2 divided by delta L, that is 20 into 10 to the power of minus 2 whole square into area pi r square. So pi into r square. So this is a 3 into 10 to the power of minus 3 whole square. So if you simplify this equation, we can get approximately y equals to 3 into 10 to the power of 6 Newton per meter square. Right? Hope this is clear how we proceeded this problem. Let us see once. See first, so given data, I wrote given data, a boy's catapult is made up of a rubber cord of length. This is 42 centimeters. I converted this 42 centimeters into meters, and 6 meters of diameter. 6 meters of diameter, that is 6 millimeters, radius 3 millimeters, 3 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meters, and negligible mass. A boy keeps a stone of weighing 0.02 kgs. So mass is 0.02 kgs. On stretches the cord by 20 centimeters by applying a constant force. When released, the stone flies off with a constant with a velocity 20 meter per second. Already 20 meter per second is there. Then neglect the change in area of cross section while stretching Young's modulus. We have to calculate. First I wrote given data. Here what is happening? Stretching a cord, energy stored in that one is in the form of potential energy. When it is released immediately, it will be converted into kinetic energy, conservation of energy. Then I started with energy density of the cord, which is nothing but half stress into strain. Then I converted stress in terms of what? Strain. We can write y is equal to here, y equal to stress divided by strain. Stress divided by strain. Then just cross multiplied, that is y is equal, stress is equal to y into strain. Simply I substituted that one. Here what I substituted is stress is equal to stress equals to y into strain. I substituted, right? Y into strain. Simply I substituted, I got that one. Now half y into delta L by L whole square. Next, so potential energy stored in the cord is converted into kinetic energy. So kinetic energy formula I wrote here. Fine. So potential energy, conservation of energy, potential energy convert into kinetic energy. So equated. Finally, we are getting Young's modulus. Hope this is clear. Still you have any doubts? Let me know. The next we'll move to JEE Mains 2019, 8th April morning online. A steel wire having a radius 2 millimeters. So here are given data. I wrote R is equals to 2 millimeters. Then I converted 2 millimeters into meters. This is nothing but 2 millimeters of radius. A steel wire is there. This is nothing but steel wire. In the diagram, I'm showing a steel wire. This is nothing but steel wire. Right? Of radius. Radius is 2 millimeters, 2 into 10 power minus 3 meter. Carrying a load of 4 kgs. Here there is a load of 4 kgs. Is hanging by a ceiling. Hanging by a ceiling. So there is a ceiling. It is hanging as shown in the figure. Given that G is equals to, G I wrote here, G is equal to 3.15 meter per second. What will be the tensile stress? We have to calculate tensile stress that would be developed in the wire. So we have to calculate tensile stress. So you can see in the diagram, a 4 kg block is attached to a string, and the other end is connected to the fixed rigid supports. Fine. Now tensile stress in the wire, sigma is equals to force, that is nothing but tension divided by area, which is nothing but pi r square simply. Then I can write sigma is equals to, here it is in equilibrium, tension is equals to T is equal to mg. Of course it is rest. Now we can write mg divided by pi r square is nothing but pi r square. Now sigma is equals to m, mass is nothing but here 4 kgs into 3.1 pi given as g value, then pi into r square. So r is nothing but 2 millimeters, 2 into 10 to the power of minus 3 whole square. Here pi will get a cancel. So sigma, if you calculate 3.1, here this is a 2 and 4 get cancelled. We'll get a 3.1 into 10 to the power of 6 Newton per meter square. So which matches with the option sigma equals to 3.1. So which matches with the option 3.1. D is the correct answer. In the previous example also, it matches with the Y. So 3 into 10 to the power of 6. So nearby answer, if I take, this will matches with the C option. There's nothing but C. Fine. Okay, coming back to this one. Now sigma is equals to 3.1 into 10 to the power of 6, 3.1 into, which exactly matches with the option D. Right. Hope this is clear. If you have any doubt in this one, let me know. So next we'll move to 2019 8th April evening online. The Young moduli of two wires A and B are in the ratio 7:4. Here, according to the given data, 7:4 Young moduli of A and B. So in the given data, you can see YA by YB is equal to 7/4. If wire A is 2 meters long and a radius R, you can see wire A, LA is equals to 2 meters, and a radius of A wire is capital R. If a wire B is 1.5 meters, you can see in the given data LB is equal to 1.5 meters long, and the radius of second wire is BY, which is nothing but 2 millimeters, 2 into 10 power minus 3 meters. If two wires stretched by the same amount by the given load, now you can see in the diagram A and B, two wires I took, which is connected to a fixed rigid support, and loads, same loads are attached to it. Then given same load, so same load mg and mg or m and m, then the value of r close to. Now we have to calculate what is the radius of the second first wire, radius of first wire. How we can proceed with this problem? Let us see. So first I'll write Young's modulus. Young's modulus y is equal to stress divided by strain. Stress divided by strain. Stress upon strain, right? Which I can write F upon pi r square upon x by L. We can take it as x is nothing but change in length. Hope this is clear. Next, after that, F by x, from that F by x equals to F upon x equals to y pi r square upon L. So when you see carefully, F by x is same for both the wires. So it is same for A and B. A and B, it is same. It is nothing but same. Hope this is clear. F by x is equal to y pi r square by L, A and B, which is nothing but same. Now, as it is a constant, y pi r square, even pi is a constant, we can take it as y r square divided by L equal to some constants. Fine. Now proceeding with this equation, what I can write? ya into ra square divided by La, nothing but La. Ya into ra square divided by L is equals to yb, right? Yb into rb square divided by Lb. Hope this is clear, right? Now, if I take Ya by Yb, Ya divided by Yb equals to, okay, even we can write here Ra by, I'll write now this one into Ya by Yb, then Ra by Rb whole square equals to La by Lb. You can see clearly. So just I cross multiplied both the things, fine, and equated it, La by Lb. Now we can substitute the values. Ya by Yb is 7 by 4, 7 divided by 4, 7 divided by 4 into Ra by Rb whole square, that's nothing but R by 2 whole square equals to La by Lb, that is nothing but 2 into 10 to the power of minus 3 whole square divided by Lb is 1.5. So further solving this question, R equals to approximately 1.74 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meters. Okay. So which will matches with the option. We can see option is B, that is 1.7 millimeters. This can also be written as 1.7 millimeters. Just we see how we did this question, right? How we solve this. So radius, simple. So two wires are there, lengths are given as well as Young's modulus are given, same load is attached, and radius of A is not given, radius of B is given. Simply we have to calculate radius of B. So finally we getting 1.3. Hope this is clear, right? If you have any doubt till this point, let me know. Next we'll move to 2019 10th April evening online. The elastic limit of brass is given 379 megapascals. What should be the minimum diameter? What is the minimum diameter? Here in the given data, D is equals to question mark, right? A brass rod, if it is supported, support a 400 newtons of load. Now force or load weight 400 newtons without exceeding its elastic limits. So elastic limit is 379 megapascals. We converted 379 into 10 to the power of 6 pascals. Okay. Now steel stress. First, let us take it as stress in the brass rod. So here in the diagram, you can see this is nothing but a brass rod, and here a loads is attached, and the force which is acting or the load 400 newtons, the same force will act in the form of tension along the rod in upward direction F. Now stress in the rod can be written as force by area. Stress in the rod is force divided by area, or force F divided by pi r square. We want in diameter, so that I'll write this is d square by 4. This means, so here we can clearly write a diameter is equals to 2r. or r is equals to d by 2. So what I did, pi r square means pi r square. So pi into r square if I want, d square divided by 4. So simply I substituted the pi d square divided by 4. 4 will comes to numerator. Now according to the question, so this 4f by pi d square should be less than or equals to 379 into 10 to the power of 6. That's all. Now from here we have to calculate what is d square should be greater than or equals to 4 into 400 divided by just 3.14 into 379 into 10 to the power of 6. Hope this is clear. Now d square is equals to, we can get d square greater than or equals to 1.34 into 10 to the power of minus 6 meters, or d is equals to, d is greater than or equals to under root of 1.34 into 10 to the power of minus 6, or I can write under root of 1.34 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Hope this is clear. So d is much more greater than, this is 1.15 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meters, which approximately matches with the option A. Right, just you can see how we did. So d is greater than or equals to, this is the minimum diameter we require for the brass rod to support the load of 400 newtons, and it should not exceed the stress, that is elastic limit. It should not exceed. So without exceeding its elastic limits, we're taking elastic limit already given 379 megapascals. Then I took force, stress is equals to force divided by area. Right, is it clear? Fine. Now so we'll move to next JEE Mains 2019 10th April evening online. So in an experiments, brass and steel wires are there of length 1 meter each and cross sectional area 1 millimeter square. So in the given data, so LB is equal to LS is equals to 1. So LB is nothing but length of brass wire, and LS is length of the steel wire is 1 meter. Area of cross sections also 1 millimeter square, 1 into 10 to the power of minus 6 meter square. Now stress is equals to, we have to check it out. Stress, what is the stress? The wires are connected in series. Here they connected in series, and one end of the combined wire is connected to rigid support. You can see here one end is supported to the rigid support and other end is subjected to elongation. So here second end applied with a force F. The stress required to produce, we require stress required to produce net elongation. Net elongation, I'm taking x net is equal to 0.2 millimeters or 0.2 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meters. Now given Young's modulus of steel wire and Young's modulus of brass wire is given. Now how to calculate stress? First what we'll do, this looks similar to that of what are springs connected in series. So we can correlate this example with the springs connected in series so that it will become easy for us. So K1 and K2 are the spring constant. Now how we can calculate K1 and K2? Now you can take spring constants K equals to YA divided by A. It's nothing but in terms of Young's modulus, the spring constant can be expressed. Here if I want to take spring constant K1, or here K is nothing but the constants, fine. So K1 equals to Y1 A1 by L1. Here Y2 A2 divided by L2. Oh, this is clear. Y1 A1. Now what is K1? Let me calculate K1. So all the values are given here. So for A, this means the first one and second one. Now let me start the calculation. So K1 equal to, first we'll calculate for brass wire. I'll calculate for brass. Let me take for brass. Right, K1 equals to Y, that is Young's modulus 60 into 10 to the power of 9 into 10 to the power of minus 6 divided by 1 Newton per meter. This is K1. And next to K2, if I take this for steel, if I take for steel, K2 equal to 120 into 10 to the power of, that is Young's modulus, into A2 area 10 to the power of minus 6 divided by L2. So that's nothing but again 1 Newton per meter square. Now we can write effective. So for this one, K effective, as they are connected in series, we can write K effective K1 K2 divided by K1 plus K2. So K effective we can calculate if I substitute K effective here. K effective, right? K effective K1 K2, that is 60 into 120 into 10 to the power of 3 divided by 180, which will get 40 into 10 power 3 Newton per meter. Hope this is clear. Now for the elongation, external force F, if elongation X is already elongation, net elongation is given how much? 0.2 millimeters net elongation. So if X is the net elongation which is given 0.2 millimeters, 0.2 net elongation 0.2 millimeters, here 0.2 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meters. Hope this is clear. 0.2 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meters we use. So if I want a network, F equals to K equivalents into X. So what we require here, stress we want to calculate. So what I'm doing now, first I'm calculating force. Now force F is equals to K into X, where X is the net elongation, K equivalent. Already we got K equivalent is almost 40 into 10 to the power of 3 we got into X. X is 0.2 into 10 to the power of minus 3 divided by, that's all. What I'll get now, F equals to this 0, this is nothing but these two will get cancelled, 8 newtons. So what we are getting force is 8 newtons. Now we want to calculate finally stress, right? The stress required to produce the net elongation. Now the stress equals to force divided by area, F divided by area. So now stress equals to force. So force how much we got? 8 newtons we got. Now 8 divided by area. Area of cross section already here it is there, 1 millimeter square. Area of cross section is 1 millimeter square. Sorry, here area is nothing but 1 millimeter square. So simply substitute here 1 millimeter square, 1 into 10 to the power of minus 3 whole square, which is nothing but minus 6, which I can write as stress equals to 8 into 10 to the power of 6 Newton per meter square. So this is clear, but this option is not matching with any above options, so none of the option. So options may be wrong for this question. So none options are none, right? None of the above options. Is it fine? Just you can check it out how it is. So it may be a printing mistake. If it is not 1 here, 8 into 10 to the power of 6, this would be the answer. Hope this is clear. Let me know. Hope you understood. Now we'll move to next question. JEE Mains 2019, 12th April morning online. So at 40 degrees centigrades, a brass wire of 1 millimeters of radius. That means temperature T1 is equal to 40 degrees centigrade. Initially, a brass wire is there of radius 1 millimeter. Here in the given data, I wrote R is equals to 1 millimeters. That is 1 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meters, hung from ceiling, as shown in the figure. You can see this figure. So there's nothing but ceiling. So I took a brass wire attached to some load. A small mass M hung from the free end of the wire. So here we can see there is a load attached with the steel brass wire. When the wire is cooled from 40 degrees to 20 degrees centigrade, that means T2 is equal to 20 degrees centigrade. T1 initial temperature is 40 degrees and T2 is nothing but 20 degrees. So written here given data, delta T is equals T2 minus T1, which is nothing but 20 degrees. Temperature is decreased. The length of the original length is nothing but 0.2 meters. We want to calculate what is the mass attached to it in kgs, and what is the given data we have, even Young's modulus. So here length is 0.2 meters and Young's modulus linear expansion is alpha and Young's modulus is 10 to the power of 11 everything, and G value is 10 meter per second. Now to proceed direct straightforward problem, this is Y is equal to stress divided by strain. Stress upon strain. Stress upon strain. Now Y is equal to stress. Stress is nothing but mg divided by area divided by strain. Strain is nothing but a delta L divided by L. Hope this is clear. Fine. Delta L divided by L. So A, now delta L divided by L. L is the coefficient of linear expansion. Alpha is coefficient of linear expansion. Now how to write alpha? So here alpha equal to delta L divided by L into delta T. This is nothing but application of thermal expansions with elasticity, right? Now delta L by L equals to alpha into delta T. Simply instead of delta L by L, we can substitute alpha into delta T. Now Young's modulus can be written as Y equals to mg divided by A. A will comes to denominator into alpha into delta T. Hope this is clear. So mg by what we require, m we require. Now m is equal to just cross multiply it as y into a into alpha into delta t divided by g. Hope this is clear. Now mass m is equals to y. If I take 10 to the power of 11 into area of cross section pi r square, r is nothing but 10 to the power of minus 3 whole square into alpha 10 to the power of minus 5 here alpha into delta t change in temperature 10 to the power that is 20 divided by 10. Here even we can see the radius of it. Fine, radius is 1 millimeter, 1 into 10 to the power of minus 3. So when I calculate here, m is equals to, we are getting it as 2 pi. Or simply m is equal to 6.28 kgs. Even this also not matching with any option given. So none of the above. So there is no option 6.28. Right? Sometimes they'll be giving like this questions, and you may get grace marks if any printing mistake is there, something like that happens. Hope this is clear, right? If you have any doubt, let me know. See here, we'll move to 2019 12th April evening. A uniform cylindrical rod of length L is given. So you can see in the diagram, length of cylindrical, I took one cylindrical rod of length L and radius R is made from a material whose Young's modulus of elasticity equals to y. So y is the Young's modulus. It is nothing but y, Young's modulus. When the rod is heated to temperature T, T is nothing but temperature, and simultaneously subjected to net elongation, net longitudinal compression. That means we are applying the force on both sides. Compression force F. Its length remains unchanged. Then the coefficient of volume expansion, which is nothing but gamma, we have to calculate. Now, how to proceed with this problem? First, what I'll do, change in length alpha into L into delta T, where alpha is a coefficient of linear expansion. That means due to rise in temperature, increase or decrease, the change in length can be written as delta L is equal to alpha into L into delta T. Let me write this in equation number 1. But we know that Young's modulus y equal to stress divided by a strain. Right? Now stress can be written as force divided by area. Area I'll write pi r square divided by delta L by L. Delta L by L directly I can write alpha into delta T. Am I right? So you can see delta L by L from the above equation number 1. I can write alpha into delta T. Then I proceed with this equation. So y is equals to, we can write y equals to f divided by pi r square into alpha into t or delta t. This can be written as delta t. Fine. What we require to find volume expansion. For that sake, I'll do first alpha. Alpha equals to f divided by pi r square into y into delta t. Right? Hope this is clear. But a delta t, change in temperature itself is given as capital T. But what we require, gamma we require, cubical expansion, which is nothing but 3 alpha. Simply substitute here 3f divided by pi r square into y into t. This will be the option, right? Option B. Hope this will be clear. Right? Gamma equals to option B. So this is clear. So simple question which is asked, which is in a mains 2019 12th April evening. So we require here gamma is equal to 3 alpha I took, and from coefficient of linear expansion delta L, change in length due to rise in temperature, and stress y is equal to stress divided by the strain, and later I substituted delta L by L in the above equation. We got final expression as y is equal to f divided by pi r square into alpha into delta t, or alpha. What is alpha? Alpha is nothing but f by pi r square y into delta t. Once if I get coefficient of linear expansion, then cubical expansion or volume expansion, gamma is equal to 3 alpha, simply substituted in this one. Hope this is clear. If you have any doubts, let me know.